So welcome, and we've got a theme for today. We were just talking over our dinner before we came here, our evening meal, and we became aware that there was a theme around boundaries and inner and outer, and so we thought we'd bring that into the session tonight and look at some dances and some practices around that. Want to add anything to it?
Just trying to think what we were talking about.
Yes, I can't remember
how it
now.
arose.
Maybe it'll come back to us.
Sometimes, I guess the boundaries between us and other people, and also those boundaries within. Sometimes, overstepping our boundaries and being over-caring, or the opposite, or, rejecting of our inner parts, or all sorts of different ways of thinking about it.
I've been exploring the triangle of victim, victimizer, and rescuer. It's quite an interesting one to explore, so I think that was part of what we were talking about too.
Yeah.
The Kaufman triangle.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's right. So boundaries. Let's begin by making our circle, reaching out, holding hands in sacred space, in virtual space. And just becoming aware of the breath which guides us into our inner world and also connects us with the world around us. Hazrat Inayat Khan says the breath is like a lift which takes us to every floor of our existence. Anywhere we want to go, the breath can take us there in terms of our inner and outer experience. Towards the One, the perfection of love, harmony and beauty, the only being, united with all the illuminated souls who form the embodiment of the Master, the Spirit of Guidance. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. So we're going to begin with that phrase, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. And so in the presence of unity, so we name unity and then we also name the qualities of that unity. So we're bringing diversity into the unity. And the qualities we're bringing in are Rahman and Rahim, the sun and moon of love. So the sun is this very radiant, shining out love. And the Rahim is the indwelling moon-like love, the receptive, sensitive quality of love. So we can see those as the love that we share on the outside, so the giving of love, and also the love that we allow to land deep within us, so how we receive love. So that's part of the concentration as we're doing this chant and this dance, is you can just keep aware of how much love can I give and how much love can I receive in this moment, this breath. Just get my guitar. Bismillah, 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 Bismillah. Remember that you can join us in your own way, whether that's standing or sitting, moving or not. But we're going to begin with our arms folded over our hearts. And we're bowing to the right and then bowing to the left. There's a little step that comes with each of the bows. Stepping right, stepping left. That's with each of the Bismillahs. So Bismillah, 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 Bismillah. And then we're going to turn to the right. And as we turn all the way round, the arms are going to come out for the Rahman and in again for the Rahim. But it's a real invitation for you to feel into your space this time. You know, it might be different every round of the dance. How much love can I radiate in this moment? How much love can I receive in this moment? How much can I let it in? And maybe it's just a little tiny bit. Maybe it's, infinitely large. But just feel into where you are for this time. So it's going to look like this. Ar-Rahman Ir-Rahim. This, then we're starting again like that. So yeah, if you just dance a little bit and then, thank you, pick up the drum. continue breathing in Rahim, breathing out Rahman. Feeling your inner space and your outer space. Feeling this flow of love to and through you. And then breathing in Allah, breathing out Allah. This unity in which the diversity takes its place. Ameen. Thank you. Lovely drumming.
Pleasure. What do you think?
Maybe we'll do this next.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, in this, in the context of this theme of the boundaries and the inner and the outer, and what's on each side of this boundary that we are naming in this way, as well as naming the unity in which it all takes place. So I wanted to share a few of the beautiful names with you. So the first pair that we're going to share is Ya Qabid and Ya Basit.
Ya Qabid, Ya Basit.
So Ya Qabid is the only source of all contraction and the only one who contracts. So it's that gesture of coming in. At the physical level, continual contraction and expansion are seen throughout nature. It is in the natural physical rhythm of the heart and lungs. Contraction and expansion are also aspects of the greater sphere of heart. Transient states called ahwal constantly are experienced in the wider sphere of heart, which could be called the depth of feeling. Al-Qabid has a sober quality, and its opposite, Al-Basit, expansion, has the quality of ecstasy. So Al-Qabid is the only one who expands, the only source of expansion. Often there's great joy in the expansion of Al-Basit, and its meaning is connected with ecstasy. There are many stages of its expansiveness. Al-Basit brings a kind of ecstasy in eating, drinking, smelling, in music, in great natural beauty, and in grander and grander ways until your joy uplifts all beings. You become absent to yourself and find God's presence completely within. So Ya Qabid and Ya Basit, when recited as a pair, provide a necessary balance for those who stubbornly cling to the pleasurable spiritual states that they have become attached to by their desire. And repetition of this pair is also useful for those who have a strong aversion to contraction and who are desperately trying to escape from lower states. The more mature a spiritual traveller becomes on the path, the more fully they understand how sobriety and ecstasy naturally go together. So the sobriety and ecstasy of Qabid and Basit, the contraction, the expansion, and recognizing that it's Allah that is the source of all contraction and of all expansion. So we see, from one point of view, we name those things as different. And from another point of view, they're just aspects of the same being. just like the expansion and contraction of your heart and your lungs is just an aspect of your being, one not better than the other. So let's do a few repetitions of Ya Kabid and Ya Basit. And I've personally found these really helpful for working with my sense of my boundaries, in terms of my capacity to say no, or to work out what's mine and what's not mine, and so on. So really helpful for that sort of inner and outer sense of the contraction and the expansion. So if you want to, you can do some kind of gesture like this for the contraction and opening out for the expansion. So Ya Kabid and Ya Basit. So we'll just do them 11 times. Ya Kabid, Ya Basit, 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 Ya Kabid, Ya Basit. And let's breathe in Kabid, coming into the center of our being, and breathe out Basit, the breath expanding us towards this ecstatic union. And then coming back in on Kabid again. And if you find that you're breathing out Kabid and breathing in Basit, that can work too. The lungs expanding with Basit and contracting with Kabid. And then let's let the words fall away and just be with this expansion and contraction, remembering the only source of expansion, the only source of expansion and contraction, the only one who contracts, the only one who expands. And then we'll move to Ya Wasya. Yawasya.
Yawasya.
So this is the infinite, all-surrounding presence of God. Wheresoever you turn, there is the face of God. This is the infinite container, embracing presence, in which all of this expansion and contraction occurs. So we'll just rest in that container, our own experience of expansion and contraction, being held in that embracing presence. Yawasya. 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 Allowing Wasya to rest in the swing of the breath as we breathe with this infinite container, allowing us to melt down all our boundaries and all the inner, the outer, the expansion and contraction is just held in this infinite container of love. Amen.
Amen. So I'm going to share some more beautiful names. We have a cornucopia of beautiful names of Allah this evening. Ya Wadud,
Ya Wadud,
Yamani,
Ya Mani,
and Yamani is divine love's most intimate manifest. No, that's the wrong one. Yamani is the divine protection. That's why I chose to share this dance. The divine protection that guards against all attacks. And I like to think about this as the divine protection without and within, because so often we attack ourselves within. And Yawadud, divine love's most intimate manifestation. It is the constant embrace of the affectionate, loving universe. And this dance was brought through by a friend of ours after a terrible attack on, I think it was a gay bar in America where lots of people were killed. And they really thought of this as, honouring this intimate love and seeking protection for that love. And so it's Yawadud,
Yawadud,
Yamani.
Yamani.
So we can think about this as a boundary within and without, protecting our loving being. And there's some more words. Let the love remain.
Let the love remain.
And the peace be among us.
And the peace be among us.
Ya Salam.
Ya Salam.
So this is another beautiful name. The peaceful one. Peace. Ya Salam.
in a way, that's the container, isn't it? In this one, like the Wasya that we just did.
Yeah. So I'll sing it. Is there another bit? Oh, there's another bit, is there?
You'll find it when you sing
I'll
it.
find it when I sing it. Yes. Yes, there is. Okay. Yawadu Yamani. And here's the extra bit I forgot. Ishkala Mabud Allah. Ishkala Mabud Allah. God is love, lover and beloved.
Ishq Allah Mabud Allah.
Ishq Allah Mabud Allah. Ya Wadud Yamani. Ishq Allah Mabud Allah. We sing that again. Ya Wadud Yamani. Let the love remain and the peace be among us. Ya Salam, Ya Salam. Sing with me. Let the love remain and the peace be among us. Ya Salam, Ya Salam. Ya Wadud Yamani. Ishkala Mabud Allah. Ya Wadud Yamani. Ishkala Mabud Allah. Let the love remain and the peace be among us. Ya Salam, Ya Salam. Let the love remain and the peace be among us. Ya Salam, Ya Salam. I do love this dance and this melody. It's very beautiful. Brought tears to my eyes earlier on.
Aww.
So we begin really embodying this sense of intimate love, touching our hearts and spreading our hands outwards like this. Yawadud Yamani. So then we're creating like a protection, a fortress. And because there's two of us, we're actually putting our hands next to each other to create this wall. And then we're going to sway. So that's on Yamani. We sort of go Yamani with a sense of purpose and strength. And then we sway on Ishkala Mabud Allah, right and left. Ishkala Mabud Allah. And then we repeat it in the other direction, as if to create the wall, the protection without. Yawadud Yamani. Swaying again. Ishkala Mabud Allah. And then we'll turn back to face each other and let's connect with someone on the screen. Left hand on heart, right hand towards the heart of our beloved on the screen. Let the love remain and the peace be among us. Ya Salam. To the left. Ya Salam. To to the right, and then choose another beloved. Let the love remain and the peace be among us. Ya salam, Ya salam. Beautiful. Okay, so Jilani will do the movements for a little while, and then she might pick up her viola, if we're lucky. Ya Wadud Ya Mani. Ya Wadud Ya Mani. Let the love remain and the peace be among us. Ya salam, Ya salam. Let the love remain and the peace be among us. Ya salam, Ya salam. Let's have the high voices. Ya Wadud Ya Mani. Low voices. Ya Wadud Ya Mani. Together. Let the love remain and the peace be among us. Ya salam, Ya salam. Let the love remain and the peace be among us. Ya salam, Ya salam. Low voices start. Ya Wadud Ya Mani. Ishkalam Abud Allah. High voices. Ya Wadud Ya Mani. All together again. Let the love remain and the peace be among us. Ya salam, Ya salam. Let the love remain and the peace be among us. Ya salam, Ya salam. Now just breathing the words. Let the love remain and the peace be among us. Ya Salam, Ya Salam. Let the love remain and the peace be among us. Ya Salam, Ya Salam. I'm coming in close just one more time. Let the love remain and the peace be among us. Ya Salam, Ya Salam. Ya Salam.
Ya Salam.
So just taking a few breaths of peace together, sharing that vibration across the ether, across the world. Ya Salam. Ameen.
The love is taking us into Hanuman, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
Great. My mind is empty.
Well, that's probably a good thing.
So I also thought of this dance, which is about Hanuman, the monkey god, the embodiment of loving service, who in the story goes and rescues Sita from over the sea, where she's been stolen away by a demon. And Hanuman, I think all his followers make a bridge from their bodies over the sea to Sri Lanka. I think that's the story. And he crosses over and rescues her and brings her back to Ram. And and there's a bit at the end of the dance where we clap our hands and turn to face the demon with our loving protection. So again, I thought of this dance in terms of boundaries and remembering to identify with our loving, powerful hearts rather than the other parts which can be critical inside, and we can identify with the outer critics and judges. So this loving strength and protection and service. Jai Hanuman.
Jai Hanuman.
Jai Hanuman, Jai Jai Hanuman. Jai Hanuman, Jai Jai Hanuman. Jai Hanuman, Jai Jai Hanuman. Jai Hanuman, Jai Jai Hanuman. Jai Hanuman, Jai Jai Hanuman. Jai Sitaram, Jai Jai Sitaram. So on the last line only, we sing Jai Sitaram, Jai Jai Sitaram. So thanks to Hanuman's loving service and protection, we bring back into balance the polarities within, the yin and the yang, the Rahman, Rahim. Some people might say masculine and feminine, but I find that can be a bit misleading.
It's a limited view.
The sun and the moon,
Yeah.
we all have these parts. Sometimes one is excluded to our cost. Jai Hanuman, Jai Jai Hanuman, 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 Jai Sitaram, Jai Hanuman, Jai Jai Hanuman, Jai Sitaram, Jai Sitaram. So it's like there's 6 times we sing this melody and this rhythm, and only on the 6th do we sing Jai Sitaram. So let's sing it all through. Jai Hanuman, Jai Jai Hanuman, 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 Jai Sitaram, Jai Sitaram. One more time. Jai Hanuman, Jai Jai Hanuman, 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 Jai Sitaram, Jai Sitaram. Brilliant. So Jilani was starting to do some of the movements there. There's this wonderful movement in this dance where it doesn't appear anywhere else, where we are taking our hands, covering our heart like this, and we're embodying this beating heart of love and devotion that is beating so strongly and so full of love that it explodes outwards like that. It's a wonderful gesture. Jai Hanuman, Jai Jai Hanuman, Jai Hanuman, Jai Jai Hanuman. And then we're rushing in and we're rushing out. Jai Hanuman, Jai Jai Hanuman, Jai Hanuman, Jai Jai Hanuman, Jai Hanuman, Jai Jai Hanuman, Jai Sitaram, Jai Sitaram. So we've got a gesture similar to the last dance when we clap as if we're warriors scaring off the demons.
Your scary face.
As we clap, we jump. Try not to drop our guitars. Jump. And raise our hands in protection. And on the second time, Jai Sitaram, Jai Sitaram, we clap and jump and turn and do the same again. To face back towards each other. Great. Jilani's going to do the athletics. And I'm going to play the guitar.
Maybe some of you will join me.
Jai Hanuman, Jai Jai Hanuman, 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 Jai Sitaram, Jai Sitaram, Jai Hanuman, Jai Jai Hanuman, 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 Jai Sitaram, Jai Sitaram, Hanuman, Jai Hanuman, Jai Jai 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 Hanuman, Jai Sitaram, Jai Jai Sitaram. Jai Hanuman, Jai Jai Hanuman, 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 Jai Sitaram, Jai Jai Hanuman, Jai Sitaram, Jai Jai Sitaram. Om Hari Om.
Hari Om. Jai Hanuman.
Jai Hanuman. Great stuff. What do you think of this movement then? I love it.
Keep thinking about another dance that we've been doing quite a lot recently, which is the Dul Jalali wal Ikram. This is one name of the Beloved, which includes two names within it. The Jalal is the name of strength, and the Ikram comes from the word Karim, which is about loving generosity. And the teaching, well, one of the teachings of this is that bringing these things into balance is what, that's the nature of unity. But it's so helpful and important for us to learn the balance of strength and beauty, the balance of power and generosity, the balance of wisdom and gentleness. And most of us are inclined more towards the Jalal or the Jamal. So the Jamal is the soft and gentle, and the Jalal is the firm and strong. Many of us in these communities are more inclined towards the Jamal, which often we were brought up to be nice and sweet and gentle. And it's really important. But as Murshid Sam says, that the people of the Jamali temperament are less likely to hurt somebody else, but they're not necessarily very good at stopping themselves from being hurt. Whereas the people of the Jalal temperament, who are stronger and clearer perhaps, are less likely to be hurt themselves, but they're perhaps more likely to hurt other people on the way, accidentally perhaps. But and so you can see how really, in order to be healthy and for things to flow, we actually need the balance of both. It's just like when you're raising children and they need loving boundaries, and we ourselves need those loving boundaries too, and the small parts of ourselves inside. We need to be able to stand up for ourselves and have that strength and clarity, but also have the softness and the generosity. course, what sometimes happens when we're not holding our boundaries is that there comes a moment when we explode in feeling like we've been taken for granted or pushed over or something, and then out comes all of the stored up jalal. So what if we could keep that breath going, of the balance of power and beauty, strength and generosity, keeping that going, flowing through everything we do. So we actually haven't thought to lead that dance tonight. I read it a couple of times just recently, so I think we'll leave that one for now and move on to some of our other polarities. So the next pair of names that we have is Ya Kuduz, Ya Jamia.
Ya Kuduz, Ya Jamia.
So Al-Quduz is the ever-purifying one. It requires us to take leave of what we cling to in order to experience intimate union. Allows the spiritual traveller to transcend the lower self and keep going towards the one. It's a force that constantly cleanses us from the conceptual mind. It's continuously purifying our experience of the world. So, and one of the roots of this word points to returning home to one's village. So Al-Quduz is always purifying, washing clean, distancing, leaving behind the ephemeral to go fully into the eternal, to return home. So that's the Quduz. And Al-Jamia is the polar opposite. It's the gatherer, the one that brings everyone together, the one that throws the party and invites everybody, brings all the parts into a whole. And it also means to return home, to return to the real self. So do you see, again, we've got these same, I don't know what the word is really, dimensions, I suppose. You know, we're clearing out, letting go, expanding and coming home, or we're bringing everything in, bringing it all in here and coming home. So you get home whichever way you go. That's probably, I think that's enough to say about those two. Yeah. So Ya Kuduz, the clearing out, and Ya Jamia, the gathering in. What I often refer to with Kuduz and the other related names in different languages, for example, Kadosh and Nitkadish, they all have the same quality of clearing out, letting go of what doesn't serve. And they also have another layer of meaning which is about sacredness. So sometimes they're translated as sacred or holy. The way I see it is that this is because when we clear our space, we clear ourselves out and consciously choose what to bring into that space. What is the Jamia bringing in? When we consciously choose that, then we're making it sacred. And, you know, if we look around our lives, which are often very full and busy, just sometimes good to reflect, how much of this am I consciously choosing? Because whatever I'm doing in my life, whatever my space is full of, is what I'm making sacred, is what I'm making space for. It's easy to feel somehow powerless in that, but we are powerful. We do have a choice, and we, you know, sometimes the choices are simpler than others. Sometimes it doesn't really feel like a choice, but you know, but at a certain level, we're choosing what we invite in to our space, and so there again is the boundary that we're crossing back and forward across, releasing, letting go, and inviting in, and in either direction we're returning home. Ya Kuduz, Ya Jamia. And we'll put with this the zikr phrase just to remind us that it's all one anyway. La ilaha illallah. 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 Ya Kudus ya Jamia. Ya Kudus ya Jamia. Ya Kudus ya Jamia. Ya Kudus ya Jamia. La ilaha illallah. 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 Ya Kudus ya Jamia. Ya Kudus ya Jamia. Ya Kudus ya Jamia. Ya Kudus ya Jamia. Very good. Let's do some dancing. So we're going to do a grapevine step to the right for the La ilaha, setting up this container of unity in which we are letting go and drawing in. La ilaha illallah. La ilaha illallah. La ilaha illallah. La ilaha illallah. Now we go the other way. La ilaha illallah. La ilaha illallah. La ilaha illallah. La ilaha illallah. Now we're going to do this clearing and gathering to the four directions. So starting facing the screen and then a quarter turn to the right and so on. Just watch the first time perhaps. Ya Kudus ya Jamia. Ya Kudus ya Jamia. Ya Kudus ya Jamia. Ya Kudus ya Jamia. And there's a little bit of extra music at the end there, so you can just turn to face the screen again and just have a little boogie if you want to. Ready to start again?
Mm-hmm. Right.
La ilaha illallah. 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 Ya Kudus ya Jamia. Ya Kudus ya Jamia. Ya Kudus ya Jamia. Ya Kudus ya Jamia. La ilaha illallah. 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 Ya Kudus ya Jamia. Ya Kudus ya Jamia. Ya Kudus ya Jamia. Ya Kudus ya Jamia. La ilaha illallah. La ilaha illallah. La ilaha illallah. La ilaha illallah. La ilaha I love the lightness of that dance. It's like all of that, letting go and, come and go, easy come, easy go. There's a whole container of the lightness and ease around that, which I think is very, very delightful. So one more pair of words to finish with. And in a way, this is continuing on the same theme. You're right. Okay. And lost my thread a bit there. Jumped out of my skin. This pair of words speaks about apparent inconsistencies, and yet they're just illusion. So the question is God in my heart, or am I in God's heart? And the reality, of course, is that both are true at the same time. Ya Wahid, Ya Ahad. Ya Wahid, Ya Ahad.
Ya Wahid, Ya Ahad.
And there's another Arabic phrase that begins this dance, which Wa illa huna wa illa hukun wahidun. Your God and my God are the same God, one God. This is words from the Quran. You could say that all of these names for God are just fingers pointing at the moon. We give them these different names, and we begin to set a lot of store by what we call something. But really it's the essence of what we're pointing at that counts. And the essence of that is Wahid, the singular without which there is no other, the Ahad. Sorry, that's that one. So the one and only, there only is one. So there's this one in which we all are living and moving and having our being, but then there's also the Wahid, the one that lives in our hearts. It's another kind of the same one. Love it that you have different names for unity that mean different kinds of unity. So let's practice that phrase. Wa illa huna.
Wa illa huna.
So illa is a version of Allah, so it's the word for God. Wa illa huna.
Wa illa huna.
Wa illa hukun.
Wa illa hukun.
Wahidun.
Wahidun.
Your God and my God are one, they're the same God. Ya Wahid, Ya Ahad, Allah.
Ya Wahid, Ya
Ahad. It's a bit of a tongue twister.
Ya Wahid, Ya Ahad, Allah.
That's it, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Wahid has the same underlying structure as Rahim, so it's the one that's indwelling, and Ahad has the same structure as Rahman, so it's the one that's out there. I think that's all the words. This is the melody. Wa illahuna wa illahukun wahidun wahidun. Let's go for it. Wa illahuna wa illahukun wahidun wahidun. Again. Wa illahuna wa illahukun wahidun wahidun. yeah, I think we will stand up and do the movements. I was wondering whether people are too tired, but of course you don't have to stand if you are too tired. Let's just Robert's too tired. Just to help me show the movements. So we'll step in. Wa ilahuna wa ilahukum wahidun wahidun. Then we step out. Wa ilahuna wa ilahukum wahidun to the left, wahidun to the right. And now we're going to do this, the crescent shape, and then bowing into it. It's like, here's the Ya Wahid, here's we're making this space in the heart, and that we find God in. And then the Ya Ahad, we're dropping into the container of God's heart. Ya Wahid, Ya Ahad, Ya Wahid, Ya Ahad, Allah, Allah, Ya Wahid, Ya Ahad, Ya Wahid, Ya Ahad, Allah, Allah. And right at the end, we're going to bring in the zikr phrase, because the reality is it's all one. And so we're going to go La ilaha illallah, La ilaha illallah, La ilaha illallah, La ilaha illallah, Allah, Allah. There we go. Do you want to get your drum? So stepping forward first of all. Wa ilahuna wa ilahukum wahidun wa ilahuna wa ilahukum wahidun Ya Wahid, Ya Ahad, Ya Wahid, Ya Ahad, Allah. whether we point our fingers inside or outside, whether we name God out there or in here. It's all one. It's all one. Allah. Ameen. So thanks for joining us today. Thanks for coming with us on this journey of polarity and unity, unity in diversity. And let's dedicate and close this space. Yeah. Blessing all beings. May all beings be well. May all beings be happy. Peace, peace, peace. Ya salam. Peace and blessings to you all and to all beings.